Hello everyone, welcome again to my channel. Thanks for the click. I hope you are doing well and I hope you benefited from the previous episode. Now, as you can see, we are still dealing with some lessons and topics related to the teaching job or the teaching profession. Very important lessons for those who want to apply for teaching profession either in public sector or private sector. Okay, so today, as you can see, we are going to talk about learning strategies. Now, when we talk about learning strategies, which means that the strategies learners use to learn a language or to learn subjects. Okay, so it is learning strategies. Okay, strategies that learners use. Now, according to Schumacher and Deschler in 1992, they provided a very simple and straightforward definition to learning strategies, and they said that learning strategies are something like individual ways, so individual, which means personal, and this is why we study learning strategies when we talk about and when we study or when we are dealing with learner differences. So it is part of learning or learner differences pedagogy. Okay, so individual ways using a set of skills. Okay, using a set of skills. So using strategies means using a set of skills, and why using this set of skills, according to Schumacher and Deschler, to learn content or to accomplish some or certain tasks, content or tasks. So individual ways using skills to learn content or accomplish tasks. How? According to them, effectively and efficiently. Okay, effectively and efficiently. Not only this, in schools or in non-academic setting. Okay, in non-academic setting. So these are the terms or the most important element you should know about learning strategies according to Schumacher and Deschler. So as I said, these are individuals' way. Everyone has, or every learner has his or her own strategies, using some set of skills. Why? To learn content or accomplish tasks effectively and efficiently. Okay, so this is the definition provided by Schumacher and Deschler in 1992. As I said, effectively and efficiently, either in schools or in non-academic setting, which means everywhere. Now, generally speaking, when we talk about learning strategies, we talk about two general types. The first one is what we call the cognitive strategies, and we have another one which is the metacognitive. The metacognitive strategies. Let's start with cognitive. So when we say cognitive, it is direct. Okay, it is direct. We can say cognitive strategies means conscious strategies, using some strategies consciously, and it is how your mind functions while you are dealing with some tasks or activities or exercises. Okay, now we are going to see some examples of strategies, learning strategies, and we are going to divide these cognitive strategies according to language element or language skills. For example, in reading, what's the cognitive strategies we need for reading, the cognitive strategies we need for writing, cognitive strategies we need to learn vocabulary, and so on. Now let's start with reading. So we have a lot of cognitive strategies that learners can use while studying reading or while reading a certain task. So for example, learners can use reading, for instance. So reading is cognitive strategy, is a strategy that learner uses in reading. Okay, we have other strategies like skimming, for example, and scanning. Okay, skimming and scanning. These are also cognitive strategies that learners use to understand and comprehend the text. Okay, we can also use reading, for instance, careful and silent. Careful reading and silent reading. These are also strategies, learning strategies for reading skill. We can also include other strategies like, for example, resourcing. And when you say resourcing, means using dictionary, for instance, or maybe other books to learn, to search, especially, for example, if you come across a certain word that you don't understand or you don't know. Okay, so resourcing, using dictionary to check the meaning of words, etc. Okay, we can also talk about or include summarizing. All right, this is another skill that is needed, or another strategy which is needed in the reading. Okay, so what you have to bear in mind is that the learner can also use these or some of these cognitive learning strategies in other language skills or language components. Okay, so we can also talk about, for example, vocabulary. Okay, vocabulary. All right, vocabulary. So what are the strategies that, or cognitive learning strategies that learner can use to get and learn vocabulary, or while studying vocabulary? Very simply, for example, resourcing, dictionary. So this is it. So we can write it here. Resourcing, for example, using dictionary to check the meaning of some words, or maybe even translation, for example. This is also another, we can say, cognitive strategy to learn new vocabulary, etc. So these are some examples of strategies that learner can use. There is another one, for example, categorizing. This is also another strategy that learner can use to learn vocabulary. Okay, all right, now let's talk about listening, for example. Listening. Okay, so what are the strategies, the cognitive strategies, direct strategies that learner can use while listening? Very simply, for example, he may listen carefully. Okay, he may listen careful. So careful listening, this is a strategy. Or he can also repetition. Okay, repetition to remember words, or to learn pronunciation of certain words. So repetition is a cognitive strategy to repeat, for example, words, to learn the pronunciation of some words, for example. Okay, repetition can also be used in vocabulary to repeat words, to memorize the words. So there is also memorizing. Okay, memorizing as a strategy for vocabulary. Okay, so these are only some examples of strategies, cognitive strategies that we can use either in reading, in vocabulary, and listening. Now, for example, if we talk about speaking, in speaking or communication, we have some other strategies that we call them communication strategies. And this is something that we will talk about in another episode, communication strategies in speaking or communication. All right.